Trends are as much a part of March Madness as a stack of blank brackets and that CBS college basketball theme song. You know the one, da-da, da-da, da-dum, da-dum. It doesn't matter if you're simply taking part in a friendly NCAA office pool or getting down action on the big dance at your sportsbook of choice, tournament trends will look for you. They will find you, and they will you, our NCAA wagers. Take in style, or at least most of them will. Wrangling NCAA tournament trends is more difficult than any other major sport, mainly because player turnover in college hoops is pretty significant, especially in power conferences. The year-to-year makeup and talent level of programs fluctuate more than stock prices following a Trump tweet, and sports bettors should really watch it when it comes to putting any weight into these long-running stats. Oh, you'll hear some real doozies as it pertains to particular conferences and their ATS success in the national tournament over the last 20 years, or betting trends tied to specific seedings, especially useless since they've changed the way they seed teams and added play in games. And we at Covers are among the guilty purveyors of such hollow facts, as a lot of these trends, while completely effing worthless, are fun topics to discuss and weigh against matchups that qualify for debate. I've always viewed historical trends as a slight nudge in direction, not saying it's the right direction, like a trail of breadcrumbs or moss growing on the north side of a tree. They're a first step in the process and some are worthy of deeper exploration. But trends are very much just a single cog in the handicapping machine. Things like recent form and current trends based on this season's output should hold importance over the fact that no 11 seeds set between 6 and 9.5 are covering at a 61% clip since 1998. They're not, by the way. I just made up a ridiculous trend as an example. For God's sake, don't place a bet based on that. How books treat trends. Perhaps the best way to measure the validity of historic NCAA tournament betting trends is to ask the guys who set the odds on each and every game, the bookmakers. And what you'll get back from the bookies when it comes to their use of historic trends when setting their spreads and totals is an echoing, nah. Trends are generally ignored by odds makers. Historical trends with large samplings may carry some weight, but still it would be very minimal, says Scott Cooley, an odds consultant for online book BetDSI. In all, trends are something the public loves to point to, but they have almost no bearing on how odds makers proceed with their side of the business. In fact, some sportsbooks pointed to historical trends as their biggest weapon against the betting public. And it makes sense. College basketball is a sharp market all the way through non-conference, conference, and championship week play, with the action about a 70-30th split in terms of wise guys to public bets. Then Selection Sunday happens and suddenly everyone and their dog is a damn NCAA expert and talking about Loyola Chicago as a sleeper team they've been watching all season. I'm calling bullshit. That same guy clucking away about RPI is advancing a team in his bracket or placing a wager solely based on some whack-ass trend he saw on Twitter about SEC schools struggling when giving double digits in the round of 32. Again, just a made-up trend. And it's not just game-by-game betting, it also lures unsuspecting bettors into the NCAA futures waters as well. One of the most beneficial trends to the books is that myth that any team can win March Madness, says Matthew Holt, who at CG Analytics, which provides odds to multiple books in Las Vegas. This myth normally creates a massive hold for the books in the futures market for college hoops. In fact, the college basketball futures market is the most lucrative to the books. A long-time odds-making contact always reminds me that lines are set to the public's perception, and if the bettors are factoring in historic trends into their capping, the books will as well. As one bookmaker pointed out, a trend like a number 1 seed never losing to a no. The 16th of May prompt a few extra cents on the money line for the top-seeded team, knowing plenty of public players will tie those lofty money lines to other wagers just to get a bit more bang for their buck. Not all trends are bad. Okay, we've said some terrible things about historic NCAA trends, many of which we can't take back. That doesn't mean all historic trends should be thrown in the trash and or sorted for recycling. Leave it to longtime handicapper and gatekeeper of one of the biggest betting databases in the business, Mark Lawrence, to school me on the value of historic trends using this famous Winston Churchill quote, "Those who fail to learn from history are doomed." To repeat it, who am I to argue with the Prime Minister? But I'm pretty sure he didn't have a bunch of dudes yelling, "What the hell kind of shot was that?" at a TV in mind when he said that. Lawrence says by relying on past patterns we can better anticipate expectancy, and by applying them to current form, we become better, well-rounded handicappers. He specifically points to trends as they pertain to head coaches, stating, their personalities and traits are reflective on a team's measure of success on the court. And it makes sense. Players come and go in the college ranks, but head coaches remain the same.